Everything you said sounds wonderful, but has been proven to be very idealistic in recent years. How do you move when the politicians do not have an incentive to carry out these reforms?
Sure. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm naive about this. I have my eyes very open as to what the challenges are of delivering reforms within this very complicated and in many ways captured administration that we now have. I think the freedom of media is a crucial part of that we absolutely need to see much more progress, because without media that are free of party or political control, it's very difficult for citizens to get the proper information about what's happening here. So there's an accountability issue which I would really stress. So we shouldn't see people elected to Parliament and then they take the next 12 months off, continuing to collect their salaries, but not delivering anything in terms of improvements to people's lives. International support, yes, but this isn't about the international community stepping in and trying to run this country or take over responsibility from administrations and governments that are in place. So we are here to help. We should provide sometimes pressure as well, sometimes amplifying citizens' voices. But I'm the British ambassador, I don't get to vote. These are not my elected representatives, and I think it's citizens that really have the most to demand of that. Just to give an example of the kind of failures that sometimes become normal here. In Mostar, we have not had local elections in 11 years. That is an absolute democratic failure of the most basic kind. And this is a country that wants to join the EU, and a city that wants to be a European city of culture. I think as a starting point, elections next year in Mostar, allowing citizens to choose their government, that's a basic step. And I absolutely agree on the challenges of doing that. I don't think it happens by us all just sitting back and hoping for the best.
But there are a lot of great media outlets out there that have been for years providing precisely the type of information that citizens will need to hold their politicians accountable, and it's very accessible. You know, we don't live in these isolated communist times anymore. Any citizen who wants to be informed can very easily be informed. We've talked about the role of politicians. We talked about the role of the international community, the role of soldiers. What about the citizens? If they're not demanding more, maybe they don't deserve anything better than the current situation.
Well, I mean, in some ways it's true, that sort of freedom of access, but it's also about the media messages that are most prevalent and most easily accessible. So public broadcasters, for example, are often very party politically controlled. That massively distorts, I think, the sense of what is happening for a lot of people across this country. And also, and this is something that I personally feel very strongly about, it's about the protection of journalists. And I think too often in this country we have seen verbal, sometimes physical attacks on journalists, and no real consequences. And I think protecting journalists is such a basic part of democratic life that if we're not doing that, then we can't expect free media in this country, and it's going to hold all of us back. You know, I want to finish on a positive, if I can. I think the quality of people that I see across this country is enormously impressive. I consistently meet people who are talented, motivated, energetic, they have ideas. In most cases, it's opportunity that is frustrating them. The soldiers that we send from Bosnia to join our sort of most senior military academies, they always come back with prizes. The people that I see going back to study in the UK are extremely high quality. The people who are, in many cases, setting up businesses there or elsewhere, and then looking for ways of coming back. The people are successful. The people have the talent. The human capital is there. What we need to do here is to provide the opportunities and the equality and the level playing field. I think if we can do that, then we can see this country be much more successful.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that's a great note to end on. Thank you very much for taking it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.